Hey, welcome back to another episode of WDRC Colmado Conversations. And today we're with Paul. He's been living here for a few years now, and he's at his favorite local Colmado. Introduce yourself, Paul.
Yeah, my name's Paul Stewart. I've been living in DR for about 7, 8 years on and off. I go back to Los Angeles still, but I'm here about 70, 80% of the time. Currently, we're in the beautiful neighborhood of Santa Barbara, which is basically a part of Zona Colonial, but at the edge of it. So we have a real Dominican neighborhood right here, but we're a couple feet away from like the most touristic and super exciting neighborhood in the Dominican Republic, Zona Colonial. So for me, it's the best of both worlds, you know. My favorite Colmado Dume, with my man Carlos. I mean, you know, they let me park my bike in there. You know, it's like home. You know what I mean? Anything you need, change, whatever, you know, they're here to help you out. And yeah, you know, we're drinking a cold cerveza with my man Ronnie, who I've known for quite a few years now. One part of the expat community here. And yeah, I love my neighborhood here, and I'm proud to display it, you know, and talk about my experiences in my favorite city in the world, Santo Domingo.
One of the things I always like about the Dominican Republic is the different types of music. Now, I know you're from the West Coast and you've been deep in the music scene. And also you're in the music scene here, you know, meeting artists and everything. Tell us a little bit, how do you feel about the different genres of music here? Because, you know, we're close to Haiti, so you got that influence.
Sure.
And since we're close to America, there's a lot of influence from American sounds and everything.
And Caribbean in general. I mean, and Caribbean music in general. I mean, the Dominican Republic is super influenced by music from Jamaica. I mean, the whole reggaeton movement that started, you know, dembow is, you know, from a Shabba Ranks song, that term, which is, you know, dembow is the most popular style of street music here. But yeah, I mean, for me, you know, I grew music is my life, man. I've been working in music since I was a kid, you know. I love music. I've worked in hip hop and R&B music for years in the United States. And then when I came over here, I really fell in love with the music that I was hearing here. The salsa, the bachata, the merengue. It took me a little longer, but definitely the reggaeton and the dembow. You know, I gravitated and understood it and caught the vibe, you know. Being around it so much, you go to a party, that's what they're playing, you know what I mean? And I've just always been that way. If I was in Brazil, I'd be hearing samba music, be like, oh, this is great, you know. I was always a fan of Jamaican music, but I went to Jamaica and you're actually like at a street party and you're hearing, you know, there's nothing like experiencing it in the element, music in the element. I mean, what made me fall in love with Santo Domingo is right here in this neighborhood, there's a concert every Sunday. We're going to go tomorrow night called Bon J. It's a free salsa merengue concert out in front of this beautiful ruins of a famous cathedral, a famous church. And every Sunday, you know, the first time I came here, I walked to a Colmado and I was going to get something and I heard the music. Oh, what is this? And we turned the corner, me and my friend, and we discovered Bon J, and I fell in love. It was like the sun was setting, you know, over this beautiful cathedral. The band is killing it. There's all kind of people just enjoying life around you. And I was like, oh, I need to walk out of my house and discover stuff like this. So that's when I decided to move here, and it took me a process. Most of my work is digital. You know, gratefully, so I'm able to work, you know, here. And that's when I just started coming here. And that started my love affair with the Zona Colonial neighborhood, Santo Domingo, and the island of Dominican Republic as a whole.
As he was saying, Bon J, definitely check that out. It's every Sunday evening. It is great. Cuban music, Dominican music, salsa, reggaeton. It is great.
Not so much reggaeton, more merengue, salsa. It's a band, you know.
Yeah,
it's older
live music. Yes, live music. Everybody's out there dancing. So even if you don't know how to dance, just get in the mix and you're just gonna flow with it.
The price is right. It's free. It's free. A neighborhood thing. It's great. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I just go for a little while just to get out the house and check it out because it's like a block away from me. You know what I mean? But no, it's a wonderful. Anyone who's visiting and hasn't spent much time here or has been here and hasn't experienced, man, come and check it out. So in front of those Colmados right there, they party, man. It's a whole party on that whole little neighborhood. You know.
You're saying Colmado's a great place to hang out, meet people. You can hear local music. The Colmado right now would be playing music, but he actually turned it down for interview here.
That's a lot of love.
Yes, because you tell a Colmado to turn the music down. No, that's not happening.
Messing with their money source.
as you said, you came from the West Coast of America. What some of the cultural and differences and other things you had to get used to once you moved here?
Well, I definitely developed more patience because some things you might be waiting in lines longer. Like we're a little spoiled about certain things. I mean, the power might go out for a little while. You might not have it here and things that I wasn't used to like that. But for the most part, it was more like positive things. It was more just like, oh, wow, everybody wants to have fun and party here. As opposed to everybody being uptight and just worried about work and this and that, like in the United States or whatever. I just found the attitude of people here so refreshing and exciting, and it's like every day is an adventure, man. I never know what I'm gonna run into outside of my house. I love this neighborhood because it's like a mixed neighborhood. I come from Crenshaw area of Los Angeles. I come from, the hood, so to speak, or whatever, nice parts of it, and I currently live in that neighborhood when I go back to Los Angeles, and that's great. But here, man, it's like you have that, but then you have really upscale things all within a short walking distance. We have Barrio de Chino, their Chinatown right here with Chinese food, and every Sunday they have a street market, and it's just a vibrant community, and a lot of things to see. And so I know most of the things that the cultural differences were like really positive for me. The only things, like I said, I did develop more patience because some things can take longer, but that's a super great. Now I go back to LA, I wait in the DMV for 3 hours and I'm not tripping, I'm like used to it, so that's a super positive aspect, and then, the thing of like sometimes you don't have power, this and that. That could be a little frustrating and difficult because I work remotely. But there's always some cafe that's got a generator. Or can always make it. I've always been able to make it work. It's never, really messed me up.
Well, that's one of the things I love about these conversations we're having. We letting people know what it's really like living here. We're not gonna, gaslight you and tell you, oh, this is the best place in the world. No. There's things you have to compromise on when you come here.
I would say it's the best place in the world, though. I would take issue with that. But no, I mean, for me, I always say, it's a small price to pay to live in paradise. Like I say, every day is exciting for me here. I work in music here. I've been working on a documentary in like the craziest barrios here. So I go into all different kind of communities here and, really get to interact with people. And so, it's great. Like here, they're in Zona Colonial, there's a community of people like Ronnie I met. There are a lot of expats from America and upscale Dominicans. And, I have tons of Dominican friends. And then I go to these other neighborhoods and it's so lively and so much life and you meet great people. So, I mean, I really encourage people to get out and explore the different neighborhoods and the island. I mean, you might come here and find Las Terrenas is your vibe, or, there's nothing uglier than someone that expects people to speak their language when they're in another country that has a different language. Like, people will be understanding you don't speak theirs if you're humble and great and nice about it. You know what I mean? But don't walk around thinking that people are supposed to understand your language.
Your language, yeah, when you're in another country. Which sometimes you'll find a lot of foreigners come here, especially, the Americans, and they expect, because they're here, they expect people to understand them in English. And like, no, you're in their country.
And we're spoiled too as Americans because many places that we travel, we're insulated into places where the people do speak English, right? Like, if you go to Punta Cana in a resort, they probably only hire a lot of people that speak English and things like that, or the people that you're interacting with anyway, probably mostly speak English or whatever, So, it's like people get used to that, but it's like you have to understand Dominican Republic is not like that. And unfortunately, part of it has to do with, their education system and this and that too. But more at the end of the day, it's just a respect thing. You're in somebody else's country. This is their language. It'll go a long way if you understand and respect that. Even if you speak nada or just poquito, pequeño español. You know what I mean? Like, having that respect level will get you a long way,
All right. One other thing, I'm going to start a series on, the single man or the single person in the Dominican Republic. So just to touch on that a little bit, what everybody wants to know.
Yeah, I have a
how
great
has it been dating here in the Dominican Republic?
My perspective is going to be great because I moved here after I got divorced and I was single for many years, and now I have a muy serious girlfriend, un novia muy serious. So I'm off the dating game, but I did it for years here. You know what I mean? And I had a couple girlfriends that were kind of serious in that time, but not that much, So I did a lot of single dating. And I mean, for me, it was just like, after I got divorced, I did a little dating in Los Angeles. I came over here and I was like, yeah, F that. Like, it's just much better for a single man here. It's just, I think just in general, I mean, one thing I will say too is that there is kind of a preconceived notion that all Dominican women want to date gringos and Americans and all this stuff, which is not true. A lot of them won't, actually. So I mean, it's kind of looked down upon in many Dominican circles. So especially if you don't speak Spanish, and if you don't live here, even more, you're just a tourist coming over here. But still, there is a huge amount of women that you can date, that you can meet on. I had a lot of luck with the dating services, the online things. Though you meet a lot of people that aren't right for you there. We might run out of our grace period.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of luck with like Tinders and things like that. Met some a lot of beautiful women there, and you meet women going out in real life anywhere you go. If you're a single man and you're interested and you try to put that forward, you know what I mean, you can do that, and you can meet great women. Might be waitresses, nurses, unemployed mothers, whatever, you know what I mean. And there's of course there's a lot of opportunities for single men if they just come here to visit and they just want to have fun with women. They just want to have fun. You know what I mean? That happens a lot here. So, but overall, the attitude of relationships and stuff here, I just love, like being in a serious relationship here like I'm in now. It's great. Her family loves me. You know what I mean? I'm very embraced by them. And, I'm like a family member, you know what I mean? And just the way that she deals with me, I love, you know what I mean? And I had a lot of fun being single. I was dating a lot of different women throughout the course of that time, and a lot of beautiful women, a lot of smart women. And, I had some bad apples in there, but like I said, another day in paradise, man. The old thing, like one leaves you, that just opens you. Like when your girlfriend break up with you here, like, oh, all them girls I've been thinking about, I could have hollered at. That opens up the opportunity for you to, that cute waitress over here, or that girl I met on Tinder that I cut off because I got the girlfriend. I mean,
as the old saying goes,
yeah.
You miss a bus, there's another one coming. Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna wrap this up. And so, Paul,
yes,
since you've been here for a few years and everything.
Yeah.
What words of wisdom or advice would you give to people looking to move down here?
Well, definitely come and check out different parts of the island. You know what I mean? And look around. Don't jump into something right away. You know what I mean? And explore some different places. Move around. And see what you like. But the deals are here. Especially for people that want to retire. Maybe they have a few bucks. Get out the rat race or whatever. I would recommend it to anyone. You know what I mean? I came here later in life. It's been a great decision for me. You know what I mean? I've definitely enjoyed my last 7 or 8 years so much being here, and look forward to my future here, So, yeah, I would just say, come, be realistic, be smart, be on your toes. Don't fall for, everything that people are trying to throw at you. But also, I would say, look for the good in people, be open-minded, be open-hearted. If people that come in here thinking everyone's trying to scam them and this and that, that's what they get. They put out that energy. So, of course, when you're in more touristic areas, there's more people that make a living from tourists. So get out of those areas, move around, you know what I mean? And you're going to find less of that. You don't need to wear Rolexes and expensive jewelry and things when you go to simple neighborhoods here. People might want, you might look like a mark. I mean, that's somebody's salary for a long time. So, don't wear that stuff. You don't need it. We wear that stuff to attract women. You don't need that out here. You know what I mean? So, like, come, be yourself, buy a few beers for some people. You'll make a million friends. You know what I mean? Like, and just come out here and study the culture, learn the culture, appreciate the culture here and the people. And they will give back immensely. You know what I mean? They'll appreciate that you're approaching them in that way. They'll want to learn from you. There's cultural exchange. So many people want to learn English and stuff. You meet people that want to learn English and you exchange and they teach you Spanish, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, get down and don't come here and just hang out with American expats, hang out, make Dominican friends, and associate with Dominicans and move around. And that's the best advice I can give. And, if anyone wants to hit me up, I'm on Instagram, Paul_DJP_Stewart. And yeah, I'm still active in the music industry and doing all that stuff too, you know. And Ronnie, I like your channel. I saw you did the Colmado stories, and I wanted to represent Santa Barbara, you know, mi barrio, and I appreciate the opportunity for being on your show, man. I like what you do. So thanks for all the love you show me, and keep putting them good words out. You know what I mean about the city that we love and the island that we love.
Oh, we're gonna do these series of these Colmado conversations all over the city. So
That's amazing.
You get to see different parts of the city, and you get to see Colmados, which are a reflection of the community. Different Colmados, not all Colmados are the same. Depends on the community also. So you'll see. So stay tuned for that. But you know, thank you, Paul.
Salud.
And once again, thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to
WDRC in Santo Domingo.
Ya Tu Sabe.